In today's episode, we're talking about paying the or people who will make you wealthy. Who are they? Let's find out. Welcome, welcome. This is Gull Khan, your money mindset expert. And today we're talking about paying the people who will make you wealthy. And the fact that you need to pay these people is obviously. Let me start again, Kieran. I'm just going all over the place. Welcome, welcome. This is Gull Khan, your money mindset expert, and I help entrepreneurs like yourselves to break free from your limiting beliefs, reverse your money shame, and to blast through your money blocks. And I have helped over 200 people now to go from 6 to 7 figures within a space of 6 to 12 months. All right, so today we're talking about paying the person first, or paying people who will make you wealthy first. And who are these people? Well, I have a number of people I want to talk about, and this is important. And the very first one, it would be if you are, and I'm going on the assumption that you are operating a small business and you are building a side hustle, you are currently either in a corporate job, or you left your corporate job and you are now working on your passion, on your business that you're doing on the side, which may now be a full-time profession anyway. So whatever it is, I'm assuming that you have a business that you're running. Now, the very first piece of advice I can give you is to go and get a mentor. Now, why do I say this? And I learned about having mentors from Tony Robbins way back, when I was in my early 20s. I remember in this book, he talked about modeling and how, if somebody else has gone to the path of success, what you want to do is find somebody who's got there and replicate their actions. And the easiest way to bake a cake is to follow a recipe. And the assumption is that you would go out and find a mentor who has achieved what you want to achieve and who can show you the steps on the way. And the coaching industry has really exploded over the last 10 years. You would get all sorts of coach, from parenting to business coach to even ads coach and so forth. There's so many different types of coaches available now. And coaching industry is $1 billion industry for that matter, because there's so many different types of people who can coach you for different things. Now, I'm going under the assumption that you want to become wealthy. So then if you want to become wealthy, you need certain coaches to help you get there. And I've talked about mindset, and I've talked about energy clearing and energy healing and so forth. But there are two types of coaches that you would need, that I believe that you would need when it comes to having a successful business. And the reason why I think they should be two distinct people is because I've yet to find someone who excels in both. Okay, and myself included. I'm going to put myself in the category as well, being very honest up front with yourselves. I'm going to explain my reasoning for you in a bit. So on one hand, you definitely need a coach or a mentor, somebody who can support you in your business. So for example, if you're setting up a business in the coaching industry stuff, or you're setting up business for affiliate marketing, or you're setting up business where you are selling some kind of a course online or something, any kind of business that you're doing, or you are marketing you have an offline business and you have brick and mortar business and you are doing the marketing for it. Irrespective of what kind of small business you have, if you're a small business, then I recommend you go out and get mentor. Why? Because it takes years to accumulate the experience that you need to build a successful 7-figure business. Now, I'm talking about experience as a 7-figure business owner, that it's much easier to go out and find a mentor who can support your journey and help you build to that 7-figure level. Right? So this is why I would recommend having a business coach, some kind of business coach who can help you along. And obviously, I'm not going to recommend any particular person. There are many different types of people out there, and you'll find some people are more spiritual, some are more quirky, some are more direct, and it depends. It really depends on your philosophy and the kind of person you are. I remember, I'm not going to give the names of the two. There's two there's two gentlemen that I actually worked with them simultaneously on the same year. And one was a very direct, very much alpha male, stuck in a 3D world, not very spiritual, even though it was okay, but he didn't really go with the woo-woo world, and very direct. But he was an awesome mentor. And the other mentor was very much spiritually aligned and who had, awakened to his sensitivities, and it was a fabulous, fantastic person. They were both really amazing mentors in their own respect. And I resonated with both of them, one more than the other. I'm not going to say which one, but the fact is, I learned from both a lot from both of them, and that the learning that I got from there, I was able to put into my business and 10x my business. So this is one of the most important things I want to bring to your attention. The other kind of mentor that you're going to have to invest in. Let me rephrase that. When you are working with a mentor, you're not actually investing in the mentor, you're actually investing in yourself. So let me explain that very, very clearly. People are far too occupied with, well, if I work with them, investing in this and so forth. I recently, last year, I don't know when you listen to this podcast, this is being recorded in early March or mid-March, but in middle of last year, I worked with a company who promised to get me, a certain amount of leads through organic marketing, and really salesy. Now looking back in hindsight, an awful company. That is when I did invest. Even then, I was investing in my business, but I was investing in the company and those people. That was wrong. When you work with a mentor, you are investing in yourself, because you work with somebody who can teach you, who can help you to learn the skills and give you the skills required to build a business. So there's a big distinction here. You're not investing in the mentor, you're investing in yourself, okay? So the first thing you're going to be doing is actually, learning a particular skill set that you can use to build a successful business. So that's very, very important distinction to have. So the first kind of mentor that I want you to get, a coach, would be a business coach. The second one I want you to get is a mindset person. Now, I truly believe that in order for you to have the kind of correct mindset, you need to have the correct energy. So I'm all about energy healing, right? But I'm not going to enforce that upon you. If you listen to this, you probably resonate with that too, but I'm not going to enforce that upon you. But I want you to work with somebody who can give you the mindset. Now, why have I not combined the two? Because I promise you, even the mindset coach, which talks about mindset, I didn't see his mindset strategies were very good. They're very basic NLP techniques. And what I would recommend you do is go out and work with someone who's brilliant at, fixing your mindset. And if, it's like going to a doctor, right? Would you go to a general practitioner who knows a little bit about surgery and a little bit about, heart condition, a little bit about diabetes? Or would you want to go to a specialist who specializes in heart surgery or specializes in skin conditions and does that day in, day out? Right? So the same thing that applies. So when it comes to mindset, I want you to understand how important it is. And let me be very, very clear for you. Both of these mentors are important for you. But some people would go for business coach and leave mindset behind. And I promise you, mindset is 80% of the game. And if you don't have the right mindset coach, you are going to be doing an uphill struggle. And this is why I work with multi 6-figure and 7-figure business owners, because these people have the skill set, they've learned it, they've got the business coach and to help them set those businesses up. But just because a business coach has helped you set up the business doesn't mean you're going to be successful or be as successful as you want to be, because you don't have the right mindset, don't have the right energy around it. So this is why I highly recommend you do both sides, okay? You do, it's almost like, when I talk about there's man-made laws and spiritual laws of money. The same thing applies with your business. There's the physical, actionable side of it, which you need to have a mentor for, a coach who can help you set those systems in place, to have those strategies in place to be able to have a successful business. So that's the strategy side, the business side. Okay, that's very, very important. The other side is actually the spiritual side. It's the mindset side, okay, which is equally important. Without the one or the other, you don't have a business. So without the mindset, your business is always going to be struggling. You're going to be stuck in the boom and bust cycle. You're going to be making money, losing money, or even failing to scale up to the level you want to scale. You feel like you keep chasing your tail, and one thing leads to another, and you're never getting anywhere. Or what happens is, If you do the other, if you just have mindset strategies and you don't have you have mindset tools, but you don't have a proper business strategy, then you're chasing a tail. Again, because you have to, have to go out and actually work with somebody who can establish a business. When people come to work with me, I no longer work with beginners anymore. I only take people on who actually have established businesses. If you don't have established business, then I refer you to my other programs. My monthly membership program, etc. But I don't take people on into a mastermind. In order for you to qualify into the mastermind, you have to have an established business, which you've been running at least for a year. And that's very important. So we know that you have the skill set required for you to scale up to get the kind of results you want. And there's no point in you coming to a mastermind until you have those skills or are willing to learn those skills and you have invested in a business mentor. But the second side is very, very important. You need to have the right energy around money. And this is why I would highly recommend you get a mindset or energy healer to help you with that aspect. So these are the two people that you need to bring into your world, and you're investing not in them but in yourself in order for you to have an established business. So these are the two people they definitely want to pay. What's the third person? Because there is a third person you need to pay, and guess what? That third person is you. Right? You're going to make yourself wealthy. So far too often I find, and I've been guilty of this in the past, where the last person you pay is yourself, right? The business has expenses, and this has expenses, and that has expenses, and you've paid out everything. And guess what? There's no money left there for you. There's no money left there to pay for you. You yourself. And so I find this to be, and this is where it was brought to my attention in the book Profit First when I read it a few months ago again. Actually, it was about a year ago now when I read it again. And I realized that there were aspects of my business which could do twerking and tweaking, not twerking, twerking, tweaking. Look what I'm thinking about. So there are aspects to my business that could do with a little tweaking. And I did. And one of the most important things was to remember to pay myself first. And the reason why this is, you need to understand, you need to give the universe a clear signal that you know how to treat and respect and value money. And therefore, you need to be able to pay yourself first. And if you're not paying yourself first, then there's something wrong there. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because I covered that quite detail in my 3 steps to cash flow mastery. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't heard the podcast on it, go back through the backlogs. And there is, I think, especially the earlier ones, there is a podcast dedicated to this 3 steps to cash flow mastery system where I talk about the 5 bank accounts. And the first bank account is all to do with you. So you have to pay yourself first, and you have to pay yourself regularly and without stopping. And it's non-negotiable. It's something that you have to pay even if something else has to be cut, because you cannot not pay yourself. And I promise you, when you start paying yourself like that, you will find ways to pay yourself and you will have the money to require for everything else. So the 3 people that I recommend that you pay to first of all, is your business mentor, who will give you the skills that's required to establish and set up a successful business. Number 2 would be your mindset or energy coach, somebody who can help align you with the right energies and the right, with the kind of vibration that you need to be in order for you to attract the right clients, the right people, the right team members, for you to set up and run a successful business. And finally, I want you to remember to pay yourself first. You matter. Absolutely, absolutely everything you do matters. And therefore, you need to pay yourself in order for you to move ahead. This is, without a shadow of doubt, the most important thing you can do is pay yourself first. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you realize the person you need to pay in order for you to become wealthy is non-negotiable. You have to have all 3 of these people. Well, obviously, one you have already yourself, but you need to make sure that you have 2 other people in your team who are helping you to become successful and become wealthy. Becoming wealthy on a job alone is not possible. So I highly recommend you set up a business. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already do have a business, or are thinking about one, or already have one that's been established for quite some time, and you're looking to see how you can improve it. So if you are looking to do any of those things, then do listen to this advice with detail. Otherwise, I will see you next time. And until the next time we meet, this is Gull Khan signing off. Take care and bye for now.